I ain't never been back to the hospital since 2015, but every time they say I'm crazy, it's just when I'm saying the truth.
What happens when the student not only outshines the teacher, but seems to enjoy tearing down everything that teacher built? That's exactly what's going down right now, as Ye turns his focus straight at Jay-Z, the same man who once gave him a shot, the same big brother he used to praise like family. But those brotherly days? Long gone. Now Ye looks determined to carve his name into the headlines by hitting Jay-Z where it hurts the most. His family, his image, and the secrets he's tried to keep locked away. Jay-Z's recent courtroom drama over that paternity case already had fans whispering non-stop. The claim that he might have a secret child cracked open his once untouchable mogul status, shaking that polished reputation. But Ye didn't stop to watch the rumors spread quietly. He took them, flipped them, and threw them back into the spotlight like a flaming bomb. He didn't just expose dirty laundry. He soaked it in fuel and lit it up for the entire world to watch burn. Post after post, Ye turned Jay-Z's personal pain into a weapon. He started painting him as a man, preaching loyalty and family values, all while secretly dealing with lawsuits from people claiming to be his kids. Every word, every post, it hit like another spark on a growing fire. Ye's words weren't gentle punches, they were deep cuts. He came straight for Jay-Z's image, calling him a fraud, and reminding everyone that behind that polished Roc Nation empire might stand a man accused of turning his back on his own blood. And here's where things get real dark. The industry's been buzzing for years with whispers that Ye's got a vault full of dirt on Jay-Z. Insiders claim Ye's been collecting files, screenshots, texts, and receipts, not just about messy personal stuff, but also about business moves that could shake Jay-Z's empire to the core. So now people are asking, was Ye's latest outburst just another one of his wild moments, or has he been setting this trap for years, just waiting for the perfect moment to strike? That's what everyone's wondering as this drama keeps unfolding like a Hollywood thriller. Because if Ye really does have more proof hidden away, Jay-Z could be facing a storm way bigger than online gossip. The rumor mill's already in overdrive. Stories flying about private payoffs, secret meetings, and late-night phone calls. According to those close to the situation, Jay-Z might have tried the one move he never admits to, cutting a check to keep someone quiet. The talk is that Jay-Z,
after they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
the king of composure who's always playing chess while others play checkers, might have offered Ye a private deal to silence him. But Ye, staying true to his chaos, he refused to play nice. Ye didn't just reject the deal, he blew it up completely. He tossed gasoline on the fire and cranked the volume to the max. Picture this, Jay-Z, the billionaire mogul whose dance circles around rivals, politicians, and even prosecutors, suddenly getting out-trolled by Ye. A man who lives by one rule, nobody tells him what to do. It's wild to think about, but this feud didn't just appear out of thin air, it's been brewing for years. You never got over that sting from 2014 when Jay-Z and Beyonce skipped out on his wedding to Kim Kardashian. Something he took as a brutal personal betrayal. That snub hit him hard, and from that moment, the brotherhood was fractured. Then came another blow. Jay-Z choosing Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl halftime show instead of Ye. That move felt like another slap in the face. And soon every small slight started stacking up until it exploded into full-blown resentment. When Ye went on his online rampage this year, dragging not just Jay-Z, but even mentioning his kids, Sir and Rumi, it shocked everyone. He posted, deleted, and reposted comments that had people's jaws dropping, questioning the twins in ways that crossed serious lines. Even Kim Kardashian, who had stood by him through years of drama, finally hit her limit. Reports say she was disgusted and done, realizing she needed to rethink their whole custody setup behind closed doors. Now, Ye's anger at Jay-Z isn't just a celebrity feud, it's bleeding into his own family battles, turning his life into a chain reaction of chaos and self-destruction. And yet, Ye swears this whole thing isn't just about personal beef. In one deleted tweet, he straight up admitted that he only took down the posts about Jay-Z's kids. Not because he felt bad, but because he didn't want to lose his account. That's how bold it's gotten. He knows exactly how harsh his words sound, but he only pulls back when his platform's at risk. He's been saying that when he was going through his marriage falling apart and fighting to stay close to his 4 kids, Jay-Z stayed silent. No calls, no backup, nothing. He vented online saying, "They could have used their influence to stop the Kardashians from running me over." That bitterness runs deep, and it's clear Ye feels abandoned by the very man he once looked up to like a big brother. The pain, the betrayal, it's all spilling out in public for everyone to see. But here's where it gets even messier. He's turning this feud into fuel for his art. He's been dropping new music while calling out Jay-Z, including a visual album called Bully. released in multiple versions online. And the wild part, he even cast his own son, Saint, in the project, swinging a mallet in a boxing ring, as if symbolically striking back at everyone Ye thinks wronged him. It's like performance art fused with revenge. Ye even admitted the album's title came from a moment with Saint, who told him another child was weak. Now the whole thing feels like Ye's turned his family into characters in his personal war against the Carters, blending music promotion with emotional chaos and turning his pain into a public spectacle that no one can look away from. Jay-Z, meanwhile, keeps his mouth shut, and that silence has always been his best defense. But this time, that calm exterior might be working against him, because the longer he stays quiet, the more it looks like Ye is winning the war of perception. For years, people said all Ye ever wanted was Jay-Z's approval, to be seen not as a student, but as an equal. He even poured that longing into his track Big Brother, which was basically a love letter to the man who inspired him. But somewhere between Paris and 2016, when Ye blasted Jay for not visiting after Kim Kardashian's robbery. And now, that admiration turned to straight-up venom. You can see it in every rant where he drags Beyonce's name into the mix, accusing her of betrayal or calling her complicit. You can feel it every time he lashes out about their kids, only to switch up and say he still loves Jay moments later. It's a back and forth that screams obsession. Part genuine pain, part showmanship, like a family feud turned into public theater. What makes this even more dangerous for Jay-Z is the timing. He's not just dodging Ye's public takedowns, he's also neck-deep in a revived legal battle with Ramir Satterthwaite, the man claiming to be his secret son. That case has bounced around the courts for years, dismissed, refiled, and dismissed again. But now it's roaring back just as Jay-Z's name keeps popping up in the same breath as other major scandals in the industry. And for Ye, this chaos is like the perfect storm. His old mentor, weakened by lawsuits, bad press, and whispers about hidden children, it's all unfolding like a setup straight out of a revenge movie. If Ye really does have those secret files he keeps hinting about, dropping them now would hit Jay-Z right when he's most vulnerable, a move that could change the entire narrative overnight. And the whispers just keep getting louder. Industry insiders claim Ye knows exactly how to twist the knife, by dropping hints about more supposed hidden children, by suggesting Jay-Z's been secretly paying for houses and hush money to keep certain stories buried. Whether any of it's true or not almost doesn't matter, because the narrative sticks, and Jay-Z's silence only makes it stronger. He still refuses to take a DNA test that could shut the tabloids up for good. And that quiet is getting interpreted as guilt. He's using that silence like a weapon, turning it into a megaphone that blasts across the internet. And when people whisper that Jay-Z might have tried to strike a private deal with Ye just to make him stop talking, it shows just how deep this feud really goes. Jay-Z's not the type to fold easily, so if he really tried to cut Ye a check, that means even one of the most powerful men in hip-hop knows just how dangerous Ye's words can be. But Ye is not just coming for Jay-Z anymore, he's dragging everyone into his storm.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce.
Kim Kardashian, his kids, even Diddy, nobody's safe from his outbursts. He feeds off chaos, claiming that Hollywood's full of controlled celebrities and that he's the only one who can't be tamed. When he points at Jay-Z and Beyonce, calling them puppets of hidden forces, it's not just paranoia, it's a full-blown strategy. He's casting himself as the outlaw truth teller taking on the so-called system, while painting them as the powerful elite hiding behind polished images. It's wild, it's messy, it's offensive, but it works. Every rant turns into a headline, every deleted post becomes a viral screenshot, and every jab at Jay-Z's family just adds more fuel to the raging fire Ye started. And now, we're all just watching this wild spectacle unfold. Jay-Z, the master strategist who built an empire on control and precision, suddenly stuck in a feud where staying silent makes him look weak, while Ye gets louder, angrier, and more unpredictable by the day. The question isn't whether Ye will stop anymore. It's how far he's willing to go, and what secrets he might be sitting on, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash. Ye's obsession with tearing down Jay-Z doesn't just look like ego anymore. It feels like a personal vendetta that's been brewing for years. It's the bitterness of a man who once looked at Jay-Z and Beyonce as family, only to feel completely abandoned when his world started collapsing. When Kim Kardashian's fame collided with his chaos and his public meltdowns turned into custody battles, Ye expected the Carters to step in, to use their influence, their reach, their power, to protect him. But instead, he claims they turned away. In his own words, he said, "They could have used their cultural position to not just watch the Kardashians run me over." For yeah, that silence wasn't just disappointing. It cut deep. It felt like betrayal from the people he trusted most, and that pain turned into fuel for the fire he's been burning ever since. Every jab, every online rant, every insult, it all traces back to that same wound that never healed. And maybe that's why Ye keeps dragging the Carter's names into the mud every time he grabs a mic or opens his phone. That feeling of being the outsider, the one left out even when he was producing hits for Roc-A-Fella, has haunted him since day one. And now it's exploding for the world to see. Insiders used to whisper that Ye was different, that he wasn't from the same streets as the rest of Jay-Z's circle. Too creative, too unpredictable, too out there to truly fit in. And for someone like Ye, who always craved a real brotherhood, that quiet exclusion hit deep. It planted a seed of resentment that only grew stronger with time. The more he felt those subtle reminders that he didn't belong, the more determined he became to prove that he did. That black sheep energy didn't just fuel his art, it fueled his ambition. It pushed him to dominate, to show everyone that the one they once doubted could rise higher than even his mentor. But as Ye's fame exploded, the gap between him and the Carters only grew wider. Jay-Z and Beyonce built an image of elegance, calm, wealthy, perfectly controlled, while Ye became the opposite, chaotic, raw, and unfiltered. That contrast turned into a canyon between them. While the Carters stayed private and polished, Ye was out in the open, bearing his soul, craving the same loyalty and protection that they gave each other. The more they seemed like a power couple wrapped in perfection, the more isolated he felt. And that isolation hardened into anger. Anger that started spilling into every relationship he once valued. What looked like small moments to outsiders became deep emotional wounds for Ye. The Carters skipping his wedding wasn't just a simple "can't make it." To him, it was a declaration that he was never really part of their family. Every event they missed, every chance they didn't take his side, every time they stayed silent during his public breakdowns, each one felt like another cut, another reminder that he was on the outside looking in. Over the years, those emotional cuts turned into deep scars, and those scars became the very lens you started.
We do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you. It was being reported by TMZ and now Fox News. We are learning that Jay-Z is accused of a 13-year-old girl. That is new in the Diddy lawsuit.
In that mindset, every single move Jay-Z made felt like another betrayal. That's why Ye's constant humiliation of Jay-Z doesn't come off as random clout chasing. It feels personal. These aren't just petty jabs for attention. They're his way of reclaiming power in a relationship where he always felt like the lesser one. If Jay-Z wouldn't stand beside him as a brother, then Ye decided he'd make him face him as an enemy. Every insult, every threat, every time he dragged Jay-Z's family into the chaos, it all feels like his twisted way of demanding acknowledgement. By tearing down Jay-Z's image of perfection, Ye forces the world to look at him, even if it's through the haze of controversy and scandal. But beneath all that noise, the rants, the anger, the chaos, there's something more fragile hiding underneath. There's longing. Ye's obsession with exposing Jay-Z is tangled up in something deeply emotional. The need to be seen and accepted by the man whose approval once meant everything. It's like every outburst is his way of silently asking, "Why wasn't I ever enough for you?" That's what makes this feud so complicated. It's not just about fame or pride, it's a painful collision of admiration and resentment, love and bitterness. Ye isn't just playing the villain, he's also the abandoned friend still haunted by rejection. And that mix, the attacker and the wounded, turns this story into something way deeper than celebrity gossip. It's the slow, tragic unraveling of a brotherhood that maybe never truly existed in the first place. It's pure heartbreak hiding behind all that chaos. Ye has often said he's always felt like the black sheep of the industry, a man searching for the kind of family that fame and music never gave him. He thought he finally found that in Jay-Z and Beyonce, his music family, the ones who truly understood him. But when his world started collapsing, that family was nowhere to be found. And that's where the pain began to twist into fury. Now all those public meltdowns, the all-caps rants, and even the disturbing shots aimed at Jay-Z's family, they don't just come from hate, they sound like the cries of someone punishing the very people he once begged for love. Because really, what is humiliation if not revenge from someone who felt humiliated first? That's the heartbreak hiding behind every outrageous headline. The pain of someone who loved too hard and got left behind. And then there's Beyonce, the queen of silence herself. She's mastered the art of staying untouchable no matter what storm hits around her. No statements, no reactions, not even a cryptic post to address Ye's attacks. Just complete composure. To the world, that looks powerful, maybe even royal. But behind that calm, people can't help but wonder, is that silence coming from fear or pure calculation? If Ye really is mixing truth with lies and holding back even bigger revelations, then Beyonce's silence could be her shield, a way to avoid giving him any more attention or ammo. But at the same time, that same silence might be revealing something deeper, that the Carter empire isn't as unshakable as it appears. So what is it really? Beyonce's silence an act of strength, or the quiet before an even bigger storm? People close to the Carters say Beyonce has always known exactly when to step in and when to disappear. During Jay-Z's past scandals, whether it was cheating rumors or legal headaches, her silence wasn't weakness.
You know, the thing about the kids at some point here, and not for the younger ones, it's at some point. For North, it's right now, right? That even if she doesn't see it, even if somehow Kim is able to keep that away from her, the kids that her friends at school, they're gonna know about it, they're gonna see it, and it puts the kids in a horrible situation.
It was strategy. She would let the media frenzy burn out while keeping her image flawless and untouchable. But yeah, isn't like the tabloids or gossip blogs. He doesn't move on. He feeds on silence. Every day Beyonce stays quiet, yet gets louder, more outrageous, and more reckless, twisting her silence into proof that he's right. He turns every unanswered attack into fuel, dragging her deeper and deeper into his chaos. So now the question hangs heavy. Could Beyonce actually be forced to break her golden rule of silence if Ye drops something too explosive to ignore? And here's where things get dark. Those whispers that Jay-Z might have offered Ye a private settlement behind closed doors are starting to shake the industry. If that rumor's true, it means the Carters are nervous, maybe even scared. Because if Jay-Z really tried to pay Ye off, that says one thing loud and clear. Ye's not just ranting into the void. He might actually be sitting on something real. Imagine if Ye's got evidence of more secret children, or documents showing shady business deals that don't line up with Jay-Z's billionaire image. Even the possibility of that could cause serious damage to the Carter brand. And remember, Jay-Z's already juggling legal battles and public scrutiny. So if Ye decides to press the button on whatever he's hiding, this could turn from a celebrity feud into a full-blown industry earthquake. The rumors about Jay-Z's alleged secret son, Ramir Satterthwaite, just won't die down, no matter how many times his legal team calls it part of a long-running harassment campaign. And if that wasn't enough drama, his longtime connection with Diddy has dragged him into a whole new mess. Lawsuits stacked with accusations about dark behavior at industry parties going back decades. The timing couldn't be worse, and Ye knows exactly how fragile things look right now. He understands that Jay-Z's silence isn't just about pride, it's about survival. So Ye is seizing this moment when the cracks in Jay-Z's untouchable image are finally showing to strike hard right at the jugular. He's not backing off, he's turning up the pressure, using every whisper and headline like ammo. But here's the thing, for Ye, this isn't just about gossip or clout, it's way bigger. This is about rewriting the story of hip-hop itself. Jay-Z built his legend as the ultimate success story. The man who went from hustler to mogul, the one who turned rap into empire. Meanwhile, Ye's been painted as the unstable genius, brilliant but broken, a man always chasing validation from the world that doubted him. Now, by tearing down Jay-Z, Ye isn't just trying to embarrass him.
How do you know I'm not a gangster, or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
He's trying to flip the whole narrative. He wants to show that the so-called blueprint wasn't the end-all legend people think it is, and that maybe, just maybe, he's the one who deserves that throne instead. He's flipping the script. No longer the outcast, no longer the misunderstood artist. Now he's positioning himself as the truth teller, the rebel, the one bold enough to set fire to the throne everyone else worships. But maybe that's the real question here. Is this feud about pain, or is it about legacy? Because let's be real. This isn't just about tweets, deleted posts, or wild rants anymore. This is a full-on war over who gets remembered as the king of the culture and who gets buried beneath the weight of scandal. He's already proven he's willing to go further than anyone else. He's dragged Jay-Z's marriage, his kids, even his silence into the flames. No line too sacred, no subject too off limits. And if the whispers are true, he's still got more dirt tucked away, waiting for that perfect moment to cause maximum chaos. Every move feels calculated, not just revenge, but strategy. And here's the scary part. He's got nothing left to lose. His reputation's already battered, his empire cracked, his image torn apart in public. He thrives in the chaos that would destroy most people. But Jay-Z and Beyonce, they've built their empire on perfection. Polished moves, flawless rollouts, and total control. For them, image is everything. And all it takes is one loose thread, one leak, one explosive reveal for the dynasty they built to start unraveling right before our eyes. Here's the chilling question that hangs in the air. Is this feud about to pull back the curtain on secrets so massive that even the Carters can't hide them anymore? Will Ye go down in history as the man who shattered Jay-Z's legacy? Or as the unhinged provocateur who finally crossed a line he couldn't come back from? We might be standing right at the edge of hip-hop's biggest reckoning ever. A clash that could rewrite the culture's power map forever. Because when the truth finally spills out, nobody's walking away clean. Not Jay-Z, not Beyonce, and not even Ye himself. The fallout could be legendary. Reputations crushed, alliances broken, and a whole generation of fans forced to question who really wears the crown. So what's your take? Does Ye actually have the power to bring down the Carter Empire? Or is this just another chaotic performance that'll fade into the endless noise of celebrity drama? Every theory, every opinion, every side counts because this story's still unfolding right in front of us. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like, subscribe, and share button to keep the conversation going. And remember, in Hollywood's glossy world of perfection, there's always a shadow waiting to crawl into the light.